The giant panda. There are 8 different types of bears that live on the earth. Bears live in North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. The giant panda is a black and white bear that lives in China. It eats bamboo shoots and leaves. There are probably only about 1,000 giant pandas left in the world. What are giant pandas? Giant pandas are black and white Chinese bears. Female pandas are called sows, males are called boars, and baby pandas are called cubs. The panda is a symbol of peace in China. What do pandas look like? Pandas are large and have soft fur. They look cuddly. They have a big head and a heavy body. Their ears are round and their tails are short. The Chinese call the panda the giant cat bear because they have cat-like eyes. Pandas have sharp eyes and can see very well. Giant pandas are mainly white. However, they have black patches around the eyes, ears, shoulders, chest, legs, and feet. The panda lives in snowy and rocky places and walks around in the snow. The black and white color helps it to hide from its enemies. Pandas have very thick, oily, woolly fur that keeps them warm in the cold and wet mountains. How big is a giant panda? The full-grown or adult panda is about the height of a tall person. It can be about 6 feet tall and as heavy as a very big man. How do they move? Pandas are good tree climbers. Sometimes they take afternoon naps high up in the trees. They use their short claws to hold on to the bark of trees. Pandas cannot walk on their hind legs. What do pandas eat? In the wild, pandas eat only bamboo. Pandas have to eat a lot of food to stay healthy. They eat 10 to 20 kilograms of bamboo every day. There are very few bamboo forests today, so a lot of pandas are not getting enough food. Soon we may find that there are no pandas left in the world. In zoos and in other centers where they are taken care of, pandas eat bamboo, rice cereal, carrots, apples, and sweet potatoes. Pandas' front paws are not like the paws of other animals. They have a thumb. They use these paws to hold their food, bamboo shoots, and leaves. How long do they live? Giant pandas live for about 35 years. Sometimes they live longer in captivity than in the wild. What sounds do pandas make? Giant pandas mostly keep silent, but they bleat when they communicate in a friendly manner. They bark to scare away an enemy, and when they are in pain, they squeal. Who are their enemies? A giant panda has very few natural enemies. One of them is the snow leopard. It can catch a baby giant panda that has moved away from its mother. Sometimes a hungry eagle may snatch a baby panda that has been left in a tree. The main enemy of the panda is human beings. People kill them for their fur. People also cut down the bamboo forests they live in. So pandas have no place to live and wander into nearby villages in search of food. The North Wind. The North Wind gives a poor boy magic gifts that always seem to disappear. How does the boy recover his gifts? One day the North Wind saw a boy carrying a bag of flour. Just as the boy turned into his street, the North Wind blew the bag out of his hand and swept it right away.
"That North Wind!"
cried the boy in anger. He followed the North Wind right to his house.
"You took away the only bag of flour we had,"
he told the North Wind.
"What will my mother cook for our supper? I'm so hungry."
The North Wind felt rather ashamed and tried to make up for the mischief he had done.
"Here, take this tablecloth,"
he said.
"If you spread it on the table, you shall have everything you wish to eat."
All right,
said the boy, and took the tablecloth and started for home. However, he had run very far chasing the north wind. It soon got dark.
I'll stay the night at an inn.
He thought. As the boy spread out his tablecloth in his room at the inn, he ordered,
Beans, bread, and meat.
The food appeared magically on the tablecloth. The boy tucked in and then went to bed. The sly innkeeper had watched all this through the keyhole. Late at night, he quietly stole the tablecloth while the boy slept soundly. Next morning, the boy was hungry again, but there was no tablecloth and so no breakfast. The boy went right back to the north wind and complained.
You are a cheat, North Wind. You have taken back your tablecloth.
No,
Said the north wind.
that is not the way I work. But I will give you a ram this time.
He said.
Each time you rub his wool, he will drop a piece of gold from his mouth. Look after him well.
The boy ran back and found the ram at the door of the stable behind the inn. He caught the ram by a strap which was around its neck and led it slowly up the stairs of the inn to his room. By now the boy was hungry because it was night again. So he patted the ram on its back. The ram lowered its head and a piece of gold dropped from its mouth.
Good old North Wind.
Said the boy. He paid the landlord with the piece of gold for his stay and supper. He slept soundly that night with the ram for his pillow. When the boy awoke in the morning, his head was upon the floor and the ram was gone. He blamed the north wind again.
You have taken back your ram.
The north wind said nothing. He put a queer stick into a bag and gave it to the boy. He told him to go back and lock his door tightly at night. That night the boy was woken by screams for help in his room. There was the innkeeper running about, and the queer stick was beating him.
Help! Help!
He cried. The boy quickly realized that the innkeeper had stolen his gifts.
Give me back my ram.
Said the boy.
Get it! It is hidden in the barn.
Said the innkeeper.
Give me back my tablecloth.
He said again.
Take it! Take it! It is in the kitchen.
Screamed the innkeeper. The boy went out and found his ram in the barn and the tablecloth in the kitchen. He came back to the room.
Stop. Stick. Stop now.
He said. The stick stopped and jumped into the bag. The boy picked up the bag and the tablecloth. Then, leading the ram by a rope, he went back home. His mother was very glad to see him, and they lived happily ever after. A tiger in the storeroom. Have you ever seen a tiger hiding in a house? Read this play to find out what happens when a tiger gets into the storeroom of a house. Characters: Girl, Rekha. Boy, Rohit. Mother, Amma. Father, Papa. Grandmother, Dadi. Grandfather, Dada. Woman, neighbor 1. Other neighbors: woman, man, girl, boy. Scene 1.
Oof, Rohit, why don't you look where you're going?
Rekha, Rekha, there is something there outside in the storeroom.
What is it? Is it a lizard? Oh, or is it a snake?
Neither a snake nor a lizard.
Then, what is it? Tell me, Rohit.
I don't know what it is, but I heard something.
Where did you hear this noise?
There, in
The storeroom. Amma always keeps the doors shut. What could have got in there?
it sounded like something was moving around.
Amma keeps the rice and the dal and the jaggery and oh,
What?
Amma made some kheer today. I saw her put it in the storeroom.
Don't be silly. Who would get into the storeroom to eat some kheer?
It's not silly. Lots of people would like to eat kheer. Why? A cat would certainly like a bowl full of kheer.
What's that? A cat? After the kheer? It must be that great tomcat. It is always getting into the house to steal food. What will I do if it eats up all the kheer? Your father has invited his boss for dinner. And now there won't be any Swedish because the cat ate it all.
Daddy, there's a cat in the storeroom.
And it's going to eat up all the kheer Amma made for the guests.
A cat in the storeroom? Nonsense.
But it's true, Daddy. You can hear it mewing. Listen.
I didn't hear a thing. And no cat can get into the storeroom because the bars at the window are set close together. Your Dada made sure of that. There, I heard a noise. If it isn't a cat, what is it? Perhaps one of you left the door open and a dog got in. A dog!
Yes, I saw a dog outside the house a little while ago.
You saw the dog? It must be that mad one.
A mad dog in our house?
Is that true?
Yes, the children heard a noise and
You can all hear it if you are quiet for a minute. Sort of growly and happy.
I wonder if.
what? I came to tell you that a tiger has escaped from a circus and
A tiger?
In our house?
a tiger eating my lovely kheer.
Will be in the papers.
Scene 2.
Who left the door open for the tiger to walk into the storeroom?
Not I. I was doing my homework.
Is it true?
Is there a tiger?
Really? In your storeroom? What is it doing now?
Shh.
I heard it. So did I.
A purring noise.
It's sleeping after eating all that kheer.
Now is the time to catch it.
Yes, when it is fast asleep.
Who's going to catch it?
Is the door locked?
What door?
The storeroom door.
No.
Do you mean to say the door is open? Rohit, Rekha, don't move!
What's all this?
Papa, there's a tiger in the storeroom.
A tiger.
Escaped from the circus.
I'm so sorry, but there is no kheer for your boss.
Really? What does a tiger sound like?
Shh. Now listen. There. Did you hear that?
It didn't sound like any tiger I've ever heard.
Ramesh? Oh, be careful.
There is nothing there.
Nothing?
Can't be. We heard the noise.
And Rohit saw the dog.
And my kheer.
There is some kheer left. And there was a book there,
A book?
left there by someone who ate the kheer. We all heard the pages of this book rustling.
Rohit! Oh, Rohit! You were the cat?
That got in through the window.
You were the dog?
That was standing outside the house.
And I was the tiger.
That escaped from the circus.
That ate my kheer. You should have asked me, Rohit.
You scared everybody.
You would have got your share anyway.
My home, your home. What may seem like a perfect home for one person may not suit another person at all. Is that true for people as well as for mice? Once upon a time, there was a little mouse called Misty. He lived in the country. One day, he asked a little mouse called Sonu from the city to visit him. When Sonu arrived, they sat down for dinner. Misty gave him barley and grain to eat. Sonu was surprised.
Really?
He said,
You do not eat well at all. You should see how I live. I have all sorts of fine things to eat every day. You must come to visit me. It is really very nice to live in the city.
Little Misty did just that. A few weeks later, he went to the city to visit his friend. Sonu took Misty to see a cupboard. It was in the kitchen of the house where he lived. They climbed onto the lowest shelf. There, behind some stone jars, stood a big paper bag of brown sugar. Little Sonu gnawed a hole in the bag. Then he invited his friend to nibble for himself. The two little mice nibbled and nibbled. Misty thought it was the most delicious thing he had ever eaten.
How lucky Sonu is!
He thought as he ate. Suddenly the door opened with a bang. The cook, Mary, wanted to get some flour.
Run!
Whispered Sonu. They ran as fast as they could. They rushed into the little hole from where they had come in. Poor Misty was shaking all over. However, Sonu said,
That's nothing. She will soon go away. Then we can go back.
After the cook had gone away and shut the door, they stole softly back. This time, Sonu had something new to show Misty. He took Misty into a corner on the top shelf. A big jar of raisins stood there open. After much tugging and pulling, they got a large dried raisin out of the jar onto the shelf and began to nibble at it. This was even better than the brown sugar. Misty liked the taste so much that he ate it as fast as he could. All at once, they heard a scratching at the door and a sharp, loud meow.
What is that?
Asked Misty, alarmed. Sonu whispered.
Shh.
Then he ran as fast as he could to the hole. Misty ran after him. As soon as they were out of danger, Sonu said,
That was Billu, the old cat. She is the best mouser in town. If she catches you, you are lost.
This is really terrible,
said Misty.
Let us not go back to the cupboard again.
No,
said Sonu.
but I will take you to the cellar. There is something special there.
So Sonu took his little friend down the cellar stairs. They went into a big cupboard where there were many shelves. On the shelves were packets of butter and sugar. There were tins of grains and dals. Overhead hung bunches of onions, and there were spicy pickles in jars standing about. It smelled so good that it went to little Misty's head. He ran along the shelf and nibbled at some grain here and a bit of butter there until he saw an especially rich, very delicious-smelling piece of coconut on a funny little stand in a corner. He was just about to put his teeth into it when Sonu saw him.
Stop, stop!
Cried Sonu.
That is a trap!
Misty stopped and said,
What is a trap?
That thing is a trap!
Said little Sonu.
The minute you touch the coconut with your teeth, something comes down on your head. Then you're dead.
Little Misty looked at the trap, and he looked at the coconut, and he looked at Sonu.
If you'll excuse me,
He said,
I think I'll go home. It's nice to have brown sugar, raisins, and butter, but I don't want to be frightened to death all the time. I'd rather have barley and grain to eat and eat it in peace and comfort.
So Misty went back to his home, and there he stayed for the rest of his life.